We like to build up all the anticipation.
Wait for it.
Let's say hypothetically that I don't know anything about fly fishing.
Yeah, right?
It was like this instant 8-way man crush.
I'm on the fence.
The time we've been doing this podcast, I've never seen Uncle Buck perk up his butt. It's dolphin procreation. Like you just flipped up out of your chair.
Yeah, he just blew out his blowhole.
What are you talking about?
And that's pretty much my dream coming true is to actually meet you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm the humblest guy I know.
Work and do trade shows in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You meet some pretty wild guys.
You blew it! I'm the worst PR person ever. Fire me.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. You are in the current. This is Uncle Buck.
Hey, Bucky.
Otherwise, call me Bucky. Thank you.
Hey, Bucky.
Hey, Bucky.
Who do I have with me tonight?
Hey, I'm Ryan.
This is Dave.
Come on.
Do it again.
You can call me Deke. That's fine.
There you go.
I'm Steve.
I'm Will.
And I'm still Bucky. And you
No,
can
you
call me
said
that,
you're
and
Bucky.
that's fine.
Still Bucky. Hey, still Bucky.
Still Bucky.
Still.
Well, I caught another trophy.
Did you,
Oh,
Stevie?
you didn't.
Oh, here we go.
Tell me about
Sorry.
it, bud.
Open her up.
I did.
In this
Don't
many
hold
weeks.
back, Steve. I want to hear about
Is
this,
this your
bud.
third trophy or fourth trophy?
I don't remember.
Do you even have room for trophies on your shelf?
Here's a trophy
I
rack.
have very limited. It's not easy to one up myself. Wait, let me back up.
Wait a minute.
It's not hard to one up myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because
You're
just
you.
ain't. Anyways,
Because.
about 2 or 3 weeks
Because
ago.
mediocrity is your milieu.
One step lower than mediocrity is my
Set your,
milieu.
yeah, you set your bar.
His
Yeah.
modus operandi.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, tell us about
Well,
this
2 or
thing.
3 weeks ago, we were talking about this lake that I've fished at 10,000 times.
Racetown.
No, not Racetown.
The lunch break.
No,
Lunch
not
break.
lunch break.
Lunch break lake.
No, not lunch break lake. The
Breakfast?
other one. Breakfast lake.
The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, Breakfast Lake.
Fuller.
Fuller Lake. I'm not kidding. Maybe, I don't know, hundreds of times. It has to be. I fished there. And I caught my trophy bass a couple weeks ago. I talked about it on an episode there.
Yeah, very familiar. No pictures.
Yeah.
Late for. Actually, there was pictures of that.
No, I sent you guys
A belly pic.
a belly pic of that. Yeah.
That stuff's catching on, bud. Belly pics on
Oh, I
Instagram.
know it. Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot more of them.
Yeah. I'm not-
Trendsetter.
I would like to see more of them on your page.
and I'm not surprised that it's catching on because it's a appropriate way to display an animal. Anyways, I was there last week, and I get stuck in a rut with throwing the same bait
Tell us about it.
every cast.
Man, no.
regardless
Precious Ned
of
rig.
Not you.
regardless of conditions, time
Species.
of day,
Species.
you name it. I'm going to throw the same thing. So I happen to be throwing a
Castmaster.
Ned
rig.
Bone-colored whopper plopper.
Close. I've been
Monkey butt.
no. I've been quite fond of the 110 bluegill whopper plopper.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and casted to the left, nothing. Casted to the right, nothing.
Then you went east, and then you went west.
I went west, then I went east, and then I went north about 40 yards, and I got slammed by it was one of the, oh boy, it's giving me chills thinking about it.
Any pictures of it?
Yeah, there was pictures all over Instagram.
I'm sure.
Oh, there was.
There was a video too, wasn't
There
there?
was a video. There
It was quite the
pictures.
buzz for, 5 minutes?
Oh, anyhow, yeah, maybe 10.
At least.
Yeah, but
What did you say to close out the video? Because I can almost
think
picture
I
you.
said,
You're like,
holy cow! or
holy
something.
cow!
Yeah, that was. You don't expect. At least I don't expect it. I mean, that's not.
No, but it was the
like
perfect ending to
Why
the
don't
video.
you expect
You're showing
it? Like
the
you're going
fish.
fishing, you're going to try to catch the biggest
So-
thing you can
You're
catch.
releasing it. You're freeing the fighter, and it's
Yeah.
just like all of a sudden it sets in.
Like,
as
do
the
you
fish
really go to expect to
swims
catch
away.
small fish?
Yes. Yes.
He's a realist.
Thousands of casts at this particular lake. I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of casts.
But it's always your next cast
And-
that could be the big one.
Bingo.
So,
And it happened to be today. And it wasn't.
so expect that.
It was a hard fighting fish. I can expect all I want, but it's easier to not be disappointed if you don't expect greatness.
Everybody-
So you set the bar low.
So you talk to your bait when you tie it on. Please catch me a small fish.
So set the
give
bar
him a-
low, but keep the fingernails long.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
He had a TV
Bingo.
show idea a while ago called
Disappointment.
Stevie Miser in Search of Juvenile Fish.
And I
like it.
I'm telling you,
I'd have DVR'd it.
it would have. I have episode. I had probably get at least 14 seasons of that going this
how
year.
big was this fish?
In one afternoon.
I didn't measure it. I didn't have a tape with me. I didn't have my catfish Christmas present scale with me.
But you took a picture where that was laying next to your bait caster.
And I measured the rod and it was somewhere 21, 22 inch, something like that.
Yeah,
Speak for yourself, bud.
And it was round too. That was what got me.
You know,
with it.
instances like that is where I'm always like, I should put marking tape on my fishing rod of like where, like, say 12, 15, like just give a couple indication lines so I know.
He went from the butt of the rod to the end of the X on the
Nice.
Pro Max, yeah. So that was somewhere around 21 inches, 22 inches. But it was heavy. It
Nice
was
hog.
really
Nice
heavy.
bass,
Yeah.
Stevie.
They do sell a decaled version of a tape, like a measuring tape,
Yeah.
that you can put on the back of a paddle. Will's seen one recently. You could also put that on the back of a fishing rod,
Wonder how much that is. That sounds expensive.
like $3-4.
Oh,
Well, it's out of his
Sorry.
ballpark.
Put that on your
Oh.
Christmas list, bud.
yeah. I'll just get a Sharpie and
I'll see what I can do.
I'll borrow a Sharpie from work and a tape measure and write it on there. But no, that was fun. It was, the biggest fish I've caught, or the biggest bass, largemouth I've caught in some time. And it was,
In like 2 weeks.
and there was,
Right.
there was some guys there at the lake. There's some, I guess they're retired folks. I don't know, but there's some guys there sometimes early in the morning. There's a small beach and they got their metal detectors out and they were telling me some stories.
Are you
about
saying that
other
just because
local
only
lakes.
retired people can use metal detectors?
No, I'm
I
saying
guess. Maybe he works at a kiosk.
Yeah. maybe he works second shift.
yeah.
Running a
Sure.
Professional
line.
trapper.
In the kiosk in the mall.
It's got a
Okay.
Kiosk line.
They could have been kiosk employees. I don't know. They don't start till 9 or 10. But my money's on their retired guys looking for a way to find a couple dimes at 6 in the morning.
Is that your retirement plan?
That is not my retirement plan. But I mean, that whatever. It looks
Whatever
like
floats
fun.
your boat.
Yeah,
But-
he's shaking down a couple couches.
They actually gave me some
doctor's
pointers.
offices.
Did they give you a quarter?
No, but the guy was
Here,
telling me
Sonny, get a quarter.
the lake.
buy you some bait.
The lake that we ice fished at.
Yeah.
They do
Laurel
Laurel Lake. They do metal detecting up there. And the one guy said at the beach, he saw a bass on the beach that he was doing the size estimates with his hands.
It had to be this
The,
big.
It
the
was-
fisherman line.
Oh my goodness, that thing would be 40 pounds if it's really. But so there must be some. And I fished that lake even more. I probably fished that 3 times the amount that I fished Fuller Lake and never got anywhere close to that. So it just goes to show you, there's big and our friends from Swim Bait Universe said this. There are big fish everywhere. There's big fish in big fish in public lakes that you don't expect there to be, and the only way to get at them is to
Get at him.
get at them.
Can't catch them from your couch.
Yeah, nonstop. You gotta keep
Or your
going.
kiosk. Having said that, but what else happened?
That was Friday.
Yeah, I was going to say that you're going back in time almost.
That was
a-
Friday. That was a full 6 days ago. The
fast forward to Saturday.
Fast forward to Saturday, the day after that. All right. We got to give a little bit of, we got to back up here and give a little bit of history on this.
We started to talk about it.
So
Yeah, we
Phil,
did.
Phil gets his boat ready. We talked about this last week's current. Phil and Catfish got his boat fixed. Will had it at his house. all week long, Will and I had been corresponding about this trip
with Bucky.
With Bucky. We were hoping with Bucky, but definitely with
PELLET.
super fan Steve Davis, otherwise known as PELLET or
Gourmet Pellet.
Pellet to the layperson.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just had this feeling. You know, when I get super excited,
What, you had a feeling?
I just had this feeling.
Deke had a feeling.
And it struck the table.
and it smacked the table.
When I get super excited about something,
Do you get nervous?
It is a foreshadowing that something's going to go wrong. It never failed. That is the.
It's kind of true.
I'm never gonna
There
be.
must
I'm
be-
never like gonna be okay with you saying I'm nervous.
There's
No, it's not that. He's like all jacked up about it.
Yeah, when I
so
get
it means
to-
something's going to go wrong when he gets fired up.
Nervousness is good. Like
Okay.
that's you. When I'm nervous about something, you're safe.
That's
Okay.
When I'm excited about something. Oh
Look out.
man!
That's his je ne
Look out.
sais quoi.
And when you, that's my je ne sais quoi. When you get,
Jenny says what?
I graduated with her. Okay. When you get two misers together,
Right.
that just like it's an exponential. It's like it quadruples the likelihood of.
It's the other part. It's like the abdomen of a snowman. Like it's going to be, there's another ball coming.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
I like the look on Deke's face right now. Like,
And-
what does that even mean?
Deke's all
But
fired
I
up
think
now.
it makes sense.
So all
But it doesn't though. It does, but it doesn't.
Right.
all week long, we're talking and going over things we need. Since Bucky's boat hasn't been on with the gas engine.
It hasn't gotten wet in a while.
Is this the
In a
part where
long time.
Bucky's like all in, fired up, or have we moved past that?
We moved past it. We talked about that last week.
Gotcha.
I think so. So at this point,
the peace offering.
It's Will.
Are you
Phil,
still
and-
texting me about
and Pellet.
you need other baits?
Yeah. So we're getting more rods lined up. We're getting, do we have life jackets? Do we have a paddle? Do we have all the things that you need on a sound device? All the things you need on a boat to keep it safe, to keep it legal,
Right.
and to be able to catch it. We had it all.
We had it
Will's
all.
like, yeah, got it. Check. So what time did you roll into Chambersburg? Saturday morning rolls around. And I'm sitting out in the driveway. It's like a kid waiting for.
On
He
the
was
front
sitting-
porch.
No,
He
at
was
the end
at
of my
the
driveway.
end of his
End of the driveway.
driveway.
Nice.
And here's the thing: I had to make like 4 trips from my garage to the end of my driveway to get on the weird.
I hope you stayed hydrated during that, bud.
It is like 4:30 in the morning. It's pitch black.
All that stuff. And he had like,
No
His-
headlamp.
he had his rods lined up on his
On my
mailbox.
mailbox.
Like they were like crisscrossing each other.
Both sides.
I wish I had enough camera like to take a picture. It was beautiful. It was like this, like,
We were ready.
Well, it sounds like he had a lot of time.
yeah. Well,
He
so
made a Steve P out of his.
yeah, he made a Stevie.
Yeah,
Steepy.
very nice.
Steepy.
It's early. It's dark.
Sounds like it.
It's dark, and
He's sitting in his Steepy.
it's warm.
I'm calling him. I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I'm dying. This is like
Yeah,
not
he's-
my thing.
I love getting up early, like 2:30 to go shad fishing.
I don't mind
Let's
getting
do
up
it.
early, but like
I'm
I
ready.
Yeah,
can't.
you guys have. There's like polar opposites here.
I can't turn and burn.
Oh,
and
I'll
pull
turn
a
it,
hole,
burn it all week long,
A whole.
as long as I'm in bed by 8,
I guess.
maybe 9. But not. So it was an early morning. I'll give you.
I wish
that.
there was a hotel like a minute from your house.
You could.
There's an extra bedroom.
There is. Well,
You just gotta
He's got a
sleep.
pop-up camper.
You got
too.
to share the bunk bed with like 4 of the kids.
You should have
Yeah.
stayed where you were the night before. That was your
You were
problem.
halfway
You were
there.
up late.
Well, yeah, I did
Yeah.
a couple trips, and I thought about dragging the boat to your place, and then it was too much. There was a lot.
There
going on.
was a ton of stuff going on. I was proud of you just for telling me you were going fishing in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the best part about it was my cousin was fired up and ready to go at 4:00 in the morning.
Because we're going to troll for stripers. And there is nothing I've researched more in the fishing world than striper fishing at Racetown Lake.
Right.
There is absolutely nothing. I mean, you name it, it doesn't scratch the surface. That is, if there's one thing I could do right now,
I'll tell you one thing it's not
for me.
is shad.
I had the nickname Shad Harasser. We could get to that in a minute. I kind of like that nickname.
Shad Harasser.
Shad Harasser. That's going to be my new Instagram handle.
That'll be cool. Nobody will use it.
No.
So we put all the stuff in the truck.
We got coolers everywhere, bags everywhere, crates
I
everywhere.
saw the picture of that boat, and there was like no room
there
to
was
fish
no
from it.
room.
There was so many
It
tackle
was-
bags.
I don't know. I had 7 rods myself, and that was after I pared it down a little bit because I didn't think
3
I'd
or
need
4, yeah.
you know.
So you had quite
2
the
crappie
Steve
rods.
be going.
And we told Pele to just
To leave your stuff in the
We
truck.
told him to stand down.
Yes. Stand down, Pelé.
We got you. So best part again, I'll try to get it out. Was I jumped in the passenger seat and
I took a nap.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
But here's the thing, I don't take a nap. In that time, I
I
have
can
to
imagine.
try and like do things like extracurricular to stay awake and be a part. Like he doesn't really talk too much that time in the morning.
He's in the zone.
So like
I'm just going through where we're starting.
Plus,
where
he's
we're
driving your
finishing,
truck.
where-
You're nervous.
Oh, it was raining. It's dark. My eyes aren't real good at night, to be honest.
night blind.
I have a hard time.
Well, according to my license, I can't drive in the dark.
I can drive just fine.
Like Civics, but not
it's
like a
not-
ramp.
It says I can't drive at night. Currently, it's morning, so I'm good.
It's after midnight. No, I see better during the day, like most people. But it's
unless you're nocturnal.
You should eat some carrots,
unless
bud.
you're a vampire.
I'm like,
I just have trouble with glare. and that sort of
anti-Batman.
thing.
So I do like I'll put on like one of the old albums or something.
Smooth jazz?
that we know.
Yeah, we were listening to smooth jazz.
Oh, something to keep you awake.
Yeah. I said, fire up that elevator music, Will.
I put on some
I'm
sweet.
too relaxed.
I put on some old Elton John and he.
Wait. We just like half step. I thought you were gonna be like Def Leppard or like something you could like
No, we grew up like
yell to like in the morning. Just
closer time.
That's
Yeah,
that's-
we were listening to that album.
That's an A
no,
side.
not
Yeah, that's an
not
A side.
elevator
we
music,
listened
please.
to the deep tracks of that.
I want a piano solo.
album.
I broke out Madman Across the Water, and I'm like, why don't you know? Like he's not singing
I never
along.
listened to that.
Why would you not know that album?
If you
It's
were
like,
deep tracks on Elton John, I'm out too.
yeah, well,
You like used up my whole
we
list.
grew up on it, and
I was
so
going to try to do Crocodile Rock, but I couldn't get in the right key.
I remember when Rock was young, and
Yeah.
me and Susie had so much.
I heard
fun.
you guys had so much fun.
Yes.
Holding hands.
Stones
I think you had an old gold Chevy.
and a place of my own.
We
I
can do this the
digress.
rest of the episode. I mean, we can. I'm good.
I'll go as
The
long as you
biggest
want.
kick I ever got, however.
was putting Bucky's bass boat in the water.
Yeah. All right. So fast forward. It's a long drive, an hour and 15 minutes from.
You took the
from-
long and winding road.
That's the Beatles.
I know, but I can get deep tracks on them.
That leads
It was a long and winding road
to your boat ramp.
to the James Crick boat launch.
Yeah.
So we get there. Will's ma.
Oh wait, one more thing about Elton John.
Yeah.
We figured out my Elton John impressions come from
This is good.
at least the bulk of them. Like I sing like Elton John from 1992 and not 1972.
Which most people remember. Like when you think Elton John, you're not
Rocket
thinking,
Man.
you're not
Like it's
thinking
real deep in voice.
92.
That's Eddie Vedder's version of Elton John singing.
I mean, if I sang a little bit more, you would get it. But like it's a real deep kind of,
Guttural.
yeah, the Lion King, that kind of Elton John. It's where my impersonations kind of come from, and
Mufasa.
not the 1972, where it's a little bit higher. Anyway, I thought it was hilarious. We laughed for a little bit.
Next episode, Between Two Misers.
We get to the launch. Pele has been there for quite some time.
Poor guy. He doesn't realize miser time. We say,
Did he camp out there?
I was joking around. He calls. He's like, "Where are you guys?" And I'm like,
I just picked up Steve in Chambers.
No, I didn't say anything. I said, "Is it dark there?" He's like, "Yeah, it's dark here." Is there trees? Yes, there's trees. Like I just kept asking all of you.
You're in the right place.
Are you at a boat ramp? Yes, I'm at a boat ramp.
poor Pellet. He was there early. Dude was ready. Like he was ready to go. And we were ready to go, but we were not early.
Really?
We were borderline late.
We tried to be early.
We were borderline half an hour past when we expected
Can't be you
to
guys.
be there.
And you expected to be late.
It's a long it's a long drive. We had to go
A lot
around,
of moving parts.
we had to go past, take the long way through the subdivision and go around the cul-de-sac because it was
turning the boat around.
So that added an extra 45 seconds onto the trip.
Okay,
So
you got to the boat ramp.
45 on the front end equals like
this is like a minute and a half total.
on the end.
So there's of the 30, there's the minute and a half. So we get to James
Rocket
Creek.
Man. What? Sorry.
That did sound like Lion King Elton John.
We get to James Creek boat launch, and Will's mom and his stepdad Ron are there with their boat, and they're not on miser time.
No, they're off. The boat's idling.
They're on diamond time. They're on time. They picked up the trout for us.
The boat's idling.
Yeah, they're idling. Ron had made this live well out of a cooler to keep the
While
trout
he was
alive.
waiting for you.
So we had a conference call with Will's mother earlier that week about getting the bait for us, and because there's only a couple places where you can get live trout over there, and those shops don't open till later in the morning, so we didn't want to wait till then. So they picked it up for us. This was a lot of planning that went into this.
Once the
trip.
fishing's done, they open the bait shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's almost. That's pretty
The
close.
Resort town.
Those are
A couple of those are.
That's
Sure.
the miser bait shop.
So we go to. I'm driving the boat, or I'm driving the truck. The boat's attached, and we stop. And I said, "Will, do you want to launch the boat, or do you want to back the truck in?" I'll back the truck in. So I take the straps off the boat, hop in the boat.
Did you put the plug in?
Hop in the boat. We're ready to. We're getting ready to back it down in.
Oh, wow.
I know where
said
that
it
plug
like a
was sitting.
joke. I said it like a joke.
Why do you know that, Deaky?
We talked about where the plug is in the
And
parking lot.
And where it shouldn't be during travel.
And Ryan said that might bounce out in that spot.
Yeah, because it
Oh,
would
was
have.
in,
It doesn't.
It's in the
No,
it's
it
in
doesn't.
the cubby behind the.
Oh, it would have had to.
No, not in that spot. In the back, it does not bounce.
No, we knew exactly where the plug was not an issue. We knew exactly where the plug was.
Yeah, but they had it in a spot, and then Ryan and Deke and Phil came to a consensus. I'm sure.
Well, I
And
appreciate
it. It was moved to a
safe
more
location.
secure location.
Well, I do appreciate that.
Well, good.
So we get the boat in the water,
Uh-huh.
and trying to start it, and we're having some trouble getting it to idle. You know,
I'm familiar.
It's the boat's been hasn't run much in a while. So
Fish and I didn't have a problem doing that. Just saying.
Yeah, when you wind the sucker out, it runs. But if you just keep that gear shifted out of gear and in the center, we had some issues getting it to idle.
Isn't there a throttle beside the gear shifter? So if
Yes.
you're in neutral, you can.
Yes, but I
High rev it?
don't want to rev it up to 3,000 RPMs and then drop it into forward because you don't get away with that very much.
No. I just meant for like while you're sitting at the dock. Okay.
So that's what we were doing, and,
Okay.
and Will's got some pictures where I'm surrounded in a cloud of smoke.
Oh, that's
It
just
was-
keeping the mosquitoes away.
Yeah, it was. we were winding her out.
Old
so
Smokey.
It took a little bit of time to get it off the boat because it was cold. You know, the boat was cold. It took a little bit to get it warmed up and to get it over to the dock.
It's like a chainsaw. You just got to rev her up.
Yeah, it's like exactly like a chainsaw, and
Yeah, two strokes a two stroke. No matter how much
how
displacement.
many carburetors it has, it's all the same.
How big the oil reserve is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So we get it idled over to the dock and get it tied off. Will's parking the trailer. And I'm just kind of collected myself at this point, trying to figure out where we're gonna, what we're gonna start out doing, what equipment we need to get ready. And I look down at my feet, and my shoes. I have my Crocs on.
Oh, geez.
My shoes are getting wet. I'm like, what the hang is this? And Ron says,
bilge pumps are going off.
Yeah, and so I flipped the bilge pump on. Like, well, it did rain a little bit on the way over, so I'm not thinking too much about it. It did rain on the way over, so it was pretty wet, and so I flipped the bilge pump on, and Ron's like, "It's a boat plug in." Why would I don't know.
Why would it be?
It's a boat. They have plugs in them. Of course it's in. I turn around and Will's walking down.
I'm not in shape, first of all. And this is a larger launch. So where I had the park and where the boat was, it's a hike.
Couple hundred yards.
And I'm jogging.
So it took a minute or two.
And I finally get back to the group, and the boat, the front end looks like the Titanic a little bit coming up out.
Uh-oh.
And
the band's playing.
There's nothing wrong. Everything's cool. We're good, Ron. I'll turn the bilge pump on and we'll be fine. It rained on the way over. I turn around.
Sounds like you use a boat every weekend.
I turn around, I look at Will, and just kind of off the cuff, I'm like, "Hey, is the plug in?" And he stops. And his face goes blank. And I got the most honest answer I've ever got from anyone to any question I've ever asked in my life.
And he said, "Oh."
He says, "No." No.
Well, it can be.
And
at that point.
All right.
No, one of the rivets gave way.
It didn't rain that much. Now, between the two of us, we've only been on a boat maybe 75,000 times in our life. So we're relatively new to boat.
Give or take.
Yeah, give or take.
It's not our boat.
It's not our boat.
It's other people's boat.
Yeah,
it's the first boat they ever were on with a plug.
Maybe we should have put the plug in it.
No.
So
we should have put the plug in
it
it.
gets
you
better.
don't, because when you keep it outside, if it rains,
I know, but maybe we should.
Hey, when
No.
we
It
went
didn't
to
rain that
Pinch
much.
that time, wasn't I like, did we put the plug in?
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But so
Even Hunter knows to put the plug in your mom.
It's like, I get it. Like that, it's boating 101.
It happens.
And you guys remember, here's the funny.
There's two misers.
I know, it's
exactly.
perfect. It's perfect.
You guys remember first day of trout season where we laughed so hard at that
just
group
karma.
that dumped. That's exactly. And here's the craziest thing. I've known now since we laughed so hard. This is just. The older I get, the more predictable my life is. I knew when that episode aired, we laughed so hard and ragged so bad on those people that dumped that boat at the launch.
Still,
I knew it was
something was
only
gonna
a
happen.
matter of time before I just really
Was being laughed at a launch.
exactly
Create a reef.
created a
It happens once to you, bud. And then
But so we're standing there with no plug in the boat and no trailer and just kind of looking at each other.
I just saw your hands go.
Yeah,
like, what do I do?
You don't train for this.
No.
At all.
And a guy, like an innocent bystander with a boat way more expensive than ours, says, "Go get your trailer."
Thanks, Einstein.
So I sprint.
How'd you know his name?
Completely out of shape. Like I couldn't be breathing harder.
why didn't you just find the plug?
Hold on. So Ron grabs the plug and he's reaching under there. He's shouting all kinds of
Explicatives, I'm sure.
Explicative.
colorful metaphors about the boat. He can't find the plug, and so no fear, Stevie to the rescue. So I take my shoes off. I empty my pockets. My hat comes off.
You go in for the Whopper Plopper.
He goes full Chip and Dale's.
My shirt's off. I'm ready to dive in. I'm good. I'm going in.
Nothing but his bow tie. He's ready.
He's straight Patrick Swayze.
I'm ready to Patrick Swayze this thing. So it's like, all right, where's the plug? Ron hands me the plug, and it was
You just reached down.
nothing but a miracle that I just lean over the edge of the boat
With your monkey arm.
with my monkey arm, my orangutan arm, and I just
Right
Bloop.
in the hole.
right in.
Like
And-
you knew what you were doing.
I don't know how it was. It was a
McLovin.
miracle. Yeah,
Just like McLovin.
they call me the McLovin of boat plugs.
McPluggin.
of bass trackers.
That sounds like the topic for last week.
Quite a morning.
What
It's
else?
funny because
Stevie,
Yeah.
I have to ask
Yeah.
the next question.
Yeah.
How'd the bilge pump work?
You spared no expense on that bilge pump, Buck.
Yeah, the bilge pump was flawless in
Yeah,
its
it looked like a fire hose coming out of the back there.
Like the pee hole.
People, yeah.
Not even. It was like a heater hose on a Mack truck. Just dump
People
it.
were making comments about how great the bilge is on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, well,
people
Einstein up on the. Was
I guess your
Einstein?
bilge pump works.
No,
Oh,
they're walking by like someone's compensating. Look at that.
I actually
Stream.
had to I had to tie the boat off with 2 ropes because the bilge pump was blowing so
Propulsing.
it was
Like,
we figured we'd just take the plug out and use that on the
no
river.
wake zone.
That's our
Instead of-
jet boat for
you know
the
how,
river.
you know how like the big charter boats have a bow thruster so they can like dock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, well, you had a transom thruster.
Oh, yeah.
With the bilge pump.
Another, I'll tell you, it wouldn't have taken much more for us to be
still at James Creek.
still at James Creek.
With the boat.
So what you're saying is
At the
I almost
bottom.
got a new boat.
No, you almost got a
wet
water
boat.
An
damaged
old wet boat.
We would have got it out.
Yeah, we would have got it out.
It was too close to the bank.
If you take the spark plugs out right away and, you know, clean up the engine.
JP weld the bottom.
That'll buff out.
JB weld.
No, it wasn't. It had just barely started coming up out of the drains on the floor, and we flipped the bilge on, and the bilge would have emptied it out. I think it may have taken a while, but the bilge was keeping up with it. But I'll tell you, if you've never done it before, and I don't know, I guess you want to try it. You want to do it when the boat's out of the water, but try to put the plug in while you're on the boat.
Crap in your pants.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
at least you guys were like tied off to the dock though, right?
That's a loose.
That's the story they're telling me.
We were
I
tied
have a
off
story
to the
for
dock.
another time where I wasn't when I noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your
Yeah.
heart. No, we were at the dock. We had one rope tied around.
So how would you like to be super fan PELLET?
Watching all this go
Watching
down.
all this go down, and then we're like, okay, bud, time to get on the boat.
Come aboard.
Trust us.
Welcome to
he just
Right
puts-
River
We're
Pursuits.
expecting you.
He puts all of the life jackets on. Like,
Let's head out to the 120 feet.
Yeah. So there,
You know, guys, before you move on, I've done the same thing with that boat.
did you really?
Yeah, but I wasn't at a place where I
Oh,
could
man.
potentially have turned my gas engine on and been able to
Beach it.
Well, at least run
Yeah, you
to
can-
help run out the water out of the bilge.
yeah, like this. I've heard of that where if you drive
Yeah.
forward, you're actually getting water out of the boat
Because you're bringing up the bow
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're pouring it out the back.
Pulls a vacuum or
and then you're
something.
trying to put a plug in.
Well, then you can stop and then
At
throw
full
the plug in.
speed.
But I'm familiar
But
with.
I've done that like up at Little Buffalo, and I mean, I was by myself putting the boat in. At least you guys had each other.
But where they're at in James Creek, they can't run
Yeah,
like
it's
that
No way.
for
Yeah.
a quarter mile.
Yeah.
But
Well-
at least you could turn the engine on. I would have been illegal as
Somebody
soon as I
would
cranked
have-
it.
Somebody would have
I'd have got a ticket if that's what it was.
Somebody would have gave us a little bit of pity, I think.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I'll be back to collect my ticket. I got to keep this boat from sinking.
I rented
keep it running.
Imagine if like the Titanic captain was like, just full steam ahead. The water will flush out.
I rented a boat one time where the bilge pump was broken, and the owner of the boats actually said, "Get it up on plane and pull the plug out and let it run, let it drain out, and then put the plug back in. You'll be good." So I know it works.
Yeah, good for you if you have to try
That's
that.
a good plan B.
Yeah.
See,
Boy, we
I hate this. I mean, hate to say it, but like the whole rest of the day was kind of downhill
yeah.
from that. you know?
wait. It was downhill from that. You didn't even like level off.
No, I'm saying like it was like not.
Oh, not
boring,
eventful.
but it was not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uneventful.
but I mean, it was fun. We learned a lot about the boat.
Yeah. If you get that thing up on plane, it'll move. Like it scooted along that lake pretty well. Yeah.
So did you guys get some fish for Pellet? Did you get him on fish?
He caught a few. Yeah.
Nice.
I think we caught 5 or 6.
Ned rigs.
7. Yeah. Pellet,
Really?
Pellet actually had. He got one wrapped around a bush.
Yeah, he was casting too far.
Yeah.
and getting a little jammed up, which is absolutely normal. And we
Oh,
were
yeah.
we're
They
joking.
fly well. They cast well.
Yeah, well, we're joking with him. Not
Very
really joking, but
aerodynamic.
we're saying like you got to give it like 5 yanks total before we will let you get jammed up.
Yeah.
Like you can typically get it out pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know, so like
If not, you break the line, you know.
give yourself some time, a little bit of grace before you throw it into the weeds and are like, oh man, start freaking out. Like his first instinct is to just, go to 9. And we're like, no. Just, yes, it's unfortunate
easy,
that it's
bud.
in
He's
there.
using one of Stevie's 37 rods,
Yeah.
and he knows that Stevie's got an average of 1.7 Ned rigs per cast that he loses.
Right.
Like he's trying not to up the average.
Well, and
so
I
I
kept-
get it being on edge if you're using everybody else's equipment.
I kept joking around. I was like, that's Stevie's favorite rod.
Oh.
That's like the most expensive reel he bought. Like just
No pressure.
You were
there.
adding to the pressure.
I was like saying, I said, you know what? If you do anything to that rod, throw the rod in the water, but the reel is worth a lot of money. Like, don't screw this up.
Man, you really put the pressure on him.
It was fun. I had a good time.
This one particular cast, he got it hung up in a bush, and he actually had a bluegill come up out of the water and eat the Ned rig.
It was the most craziest
I
nature
tell you, they
gasm.
catch fish.
But it was out of the water. It jumped up out of the water into the tree
to get it.
to
get
grab
this
the
Ned
bait.
rig.
See how good they are?
Is that considered like top water Ned rigging?
That's not even top water. That's
It's above
like
water.
hover
Above
water.
That's
water,
Air
yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah,
That's above the rim. I don't know.
it sure is.
I'm trying to figure it out.
It sure is, bud.
It's above the branch.
It's the Space Jam.
It's just, he Pellet laid it up. He alley-ooped it.
Yeah,
It was, I've never seen anything like it. A sunfish, a
that's-
healthy sunfish jumps out of the
Oh
water.
yeah,
That's
you
cool.
see it, you act like you see it all the time.
I've
Healthy, but
That's
That's
maybe
the
once.
breakfast lake. It happens
perhaps
all
not
the time.
mentally
yeah.
stable.
Oh.
Sunfish.
He had rabies. Later on, it was tested.
we did test it, and it was confirmed rabbit.
Positive.
But we trolled for stripers for a while, and I learned a lot. Didn't catch any, and we're trying to catch some bait.
We we marked tons of fish.
Tons
Yeah.
of fish. Oh my
It was
goodness!
they were
they
all
It was sick.
they were teasers.
They were all over. There was some suspended, and there were some on the bottom.
We had
And
them everywhere too. We had our
Yeah.
baits down low.
We tried. Yeah, it just. I don't know. The trout. The water's still really warm. The water's still 80 degrees, so
Yeah.
the trout were dying
Pretty quick.
pretty quick. Yeah, which doesn't help. We did try to. The intent was to come out of in between James Creek and H there to try to cast net some bait, because from what I can gather, catching bait at Racetown is one of the best ways to
land a stripe.
Key
to
to
land
success.
a stripe is a key. Yeah. I was
You got to eat
still
what you got to throw what they're eating.
match the hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was pretty after the boat plug incident. It was.
Well, the way I understand it, you should have brought your wife if you're trying to cast net.
I should have.
I heard she's good at it.
She's really good. We did find a couple spots where I was able to throw the cast net. I caught a white perch.
Yeah.
which
You
is
saw
not
this gigantic bait ball of shad
Yeah.
everywhere. And he whips it out, and only like 3/4 or a quarter of the net flies out. And 0 shad, 1 white perch.
You should have used that.
No, you can't. You can only keep alewives and
From the
and
cast
gizzard
net.
shad
Oh,
from
okay.
the cast net.
That'd make good bait.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
catching giz.
Yeah, we did.
You skin grizz?
It was there was rods everywhere in the boat.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that.
I couldn't get like the net.
Your Crocs were wet.
My Crocs were wet. I couldn't get the net in a good position where I wouldn't get it tangled up with something. But we did find there was.
You get it caught in your steepy.
Yeah, I got in my rod steepy. We was able to cast net some, which we tried, but it was late in the day.
So
we caught some giz.
what happened? Let's talk about when we really got on him. I said, Stevie, I don't want you to be a failure in life. You get up there.
Anymore.
Oh yeah, I was pretty. Come 2:30, I was wiped out, and I was ready to just wrap it up. So if I'm done, it's been a long day, and
If you're done fishing,
if I'm done,
that's crazy.
If you're not saying one more cast,
Yeah.
like 30 times.
He wasn't.
I wasn't, and we had some other unexpected
Things.
stuff with the boat.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
I
which
guess.
you turn the key and there's nothing, and you're in the middle of the biggest lake in Pennsylvania. But
Gigantic,
besides Erie.
Any like
yeah,
the speed,
other than
fours.
yeah, like the speedboats flying
oh,
by.
yeah.
yeah, no, there were just minor things that we were able to fix pretty quick, but
It took some time, though. It was unnerving.
it was a little unnerving. Yeah, there was a battery terminal
Troubleshooting.
was loose.
You just did a little troubleshooting.
bit
You're good to
jiggled
go.
loose on the trip over.
We learned a lot about that boat.
We did, and we're anxious to get back.
So I said, Bud, we're in this sweet little cove.
Oh yeah, back to the little cove, Sleepy Cove.
We saw a decent pile of giz, and I said, you get up there. You know what I mean? You can't. I don't want you to hate yourself.
Now, you said do something productive with your life for once, or something along those lines.
It sounded the same way, what he just said right there.
And I, for a second there, I believed him. So I jumped up.
Because it was so gentle.
Yeah, that's that's
it's
just
so gentle and
was a
subtle.
nudge.
Yeah.
that's
right.
just how we roll. And all right. So we throw the net and we get a
Will
pile
says,
of
"Excuse
giz.
me, cousin, but I would like
Pardon
for you."
me.
If I remember correctly, it was along the lines of, do you have the cast net on you? Is it available to catch these shad? And you're like, why, yes, cousin, it is.
It sounds like you guys.
Yeah. So we threw it one more time and landed some giz.
A bunch of giz. Like, it was like,
Giz City.
we were downtown.
A whack of them.
A whack of giz.
Downtown
one?
Gizville.
Yeah.
What's that?
Did you actually catch one, or is this?
No, he caught a net full
Yeah,
of
Yeah, I
giz.
thought you were being sarcastic.
No, he did it. He did it.
No. So we loaded.
Glad you were successful in life.
Yeah, we loaded them into the cooler and used a couple for bait, but set most of them free.
Yeah, we
Nice.
freed the fighters.
We freed the fighter. That was our big catch of the day.
Good on ya.
We caught more giz than we caught anything else.
Stevie's
Well,
better
at least
for
you
it.
found them, though. I mean, that's,
Yeah,
that's
I learned a lot, and I only get to fish Racetown from a boat once a year, if I'm lucky, twice. So it's tough to learn much, and especially if there's a day that the fishing might be off, where nobody's catching anything. It's hard to build that.
I think
muscle memory, I guess, brain memory on what to do when something's not working.
you're learning one little thing in an 8-hour period.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure, but I think Pele was starting to fish shame himself. Like
He was.
Dudes are small.
Yeah.
Like,
and-
dude, this is fishing, boy.
Yeah, this is fishing, and
Get over
He's
it.
fishing with Stevie. He expects to catch
oh
small
my
fish.
goodness, yeah,
I don't want to catch a largemouth with a velvet rack. Is that what he was doing?
Kind
I
of.
want to catch a real largemouth first.
Well,
Are you scratching at scabs?
Oh, I am, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
velvet rack, largemouth.
anyway.
Anyway.
Totally passed that one up.
So we had to educate Pellet on what a trophy was,
Yeah.
because new guys have an unrealistic expectation of fishing with Stevie. And
Well, when
I.
they hang out with this crew, that's
Yeah.
But that we've said it before, that's a tough lake to fish. And on
Oh,
a
yeah.
Saturday, on a holiday weekend Saturday, there are a ton of boats out there. I mean, and there's boats everywhere going every which way, blasting through
Everything.
every cove,
Every-
as soon as it becomes a no wake zone, or I'm sorry, as soon as it goes from a no wake zone to a regular
Yeah.
wake zone, guys are on it. And
Every wake
oh no,
has
they're
a jet ski.
they're 20,
yeah.
30 yards into the no wake zone before they actually back it down. Oh,
So
yeah.
it's I still had my sea legs, late into the evening when we went to Haas's. I was standing at the salad bar.
You looked rabid.
I looked.
I'll have chickpeas, no raisins. No chickpeas, no raisins.
So, that was fun. And having
If you're
Pellet
going
out,
to the Haas's salad bar, go down the right side. Like the right side is the side with the ranch dressing, which is really hard to reach if you're on the left side.
That's true.
But you can reach everything else that you need.
Not all of us have your
relatively
orangutan
easily.
arms, though, Stevie.
that's true.
Yeah, most of us have to go
That-
down both sides
Like,
to get
compared
everything.
to you on the T-Rex.
You could, you could do it though, but you can get underneath that sneeze guard a lot easier than I can.
You're not supposed to get under the sneeze
Oh, I
guard. That's
sneeze
why it's
away,
there.
bud. I sneeze away. Like, that's a challenge.
Public
Anyway.
service
Like,
announcement.
accepted. I walk up there and say accepted. But
Anyway, it's like Pellet's first time on the boat. We had such a good time.
We did. He's a cool cat. I'm
Yeah.
glad we got to hang with him.
yeah.
I miss.
he had his
He
hood
had
rag
fun.
on.
He
Yeah, he
did.
looked
Yeah,
good.
He
Looked good doing it.
he's one of us. He's a good guy.
He
Yeah.
caught fish, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So, moving on and moving forward,
Did you give him a whopper plopper, though?
I did. The bone whopper plopper. Bucky said, please give this to Pellet.
I just
Why did
Give
you
my
get, what,
bone
what
to
was
Pellet.
your logic?
My logic was I didn't want Stevie to have a leg up on Pellet if they went to Topwater.
Bone-colored whopper
Well,
plopper.
you know we were going to go to Topwater, even if it
Yeah.
was 11 o'clock.
90s.
Yeah,
and
I had.
90 yeah.
He threw. I had
Twin
a 90
ni-
tied
twin
onto one of
90s.
our rods, and he threw the bone 90, but we got nothing.
Yeah. You know what I threw? Not whopper ploppers.
Kitech.
Ned rigs
Brought to you by Kitech.
or tubes.
Anyway, so
Paddle
we had a
tails.
great time. A lot of paddle tails. I got home from that, passed out. The next day, I'm like, what are we going to do?
Oh,
We got to fish.
Oh man,
let's go fishing.
I'm sorry guys. We just sucked up like all the current with my stupid. I could have summed that up with.
No,
I
Yeah,
didn't put the plug in.
I didn't put the plug in. We almost drowned.
That was perfect.
Sunk Phil's boat.
Yeah.
don't
No.
say that.
Well,
Now it
Bud,
sounds
you're tall
worse.
enough you
We-
could stand. You wouldn't drown there.
That's pretty deep.
I will say this. We won't have time for the topic hat. And that's, please go to betterthehunt.com and
BetterTheHunt.com.
Why would someone go to betterthehunt.com
To
right
better
now?
the hunt, man. Why else?
It is what they do.
Well, what would
They sell a bow mitt, and it keeps your hand
why
warm.
would I go get a bow
Stevie,
mitt
you know when you
right
wear
now?
gloves while you fish,
Yeah.
and like it doesn't affect you holding the fishing rod?
Yeah.
That a glove can affect the way you hold a bow.
I sure wish there was a way for me to get 15% off.
Oh,
on one
but
of
there
those.
is.
Oh yeah.
There is.
Yep.
You shut your mouth.
You grab a
Ryan.
bow mitt, throw it in your cart, and type in RUT, R-U-T, River 15 in your promo code section.
Rut
and
River 15.
and get 15% off.
It will work on a fishing rod, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, potentially. Check it
Well,
out.
no, the 15% off will work on the bow mitt.
Yeah.
The bow mitt will work on the fishing rod.
Correct. Thank you.
You think it would?
Boom.
We have to.
I guarantee it.
Maybe
I can-
some
I can rig it.
modifications.
Guarantee it.
Very minor.
I guarantee it. Better the Hunt does not guarantee it.
I can't imagine they would approve any of this talk. But
That's brought to you by Rytech.
having said all that, Ryan and I meet up the next morning.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still very tired.
As was I.
You guys are troopers. I tell you what.
We go to Long Pine,
Long Pine Run Reservoir.
and this is like the same result as last time.
No plug in your mom.
No, your mom had a plug.
Oh.
Yeah.
We knew what to do.
Who threw that plug in her?
Hunter.
The thing that got me,
Hunter want to plug up your mom anytime. He's ready.
Leanna came along,
She did.
and she was on the supboard.
She,
and
she was supping it up.
stand-up paddleboard, having a great time.
That was a hot day.
Yeah.
It was.
So, one thing that I did, I kind of broke away from the bass fishermen, and
It happens.
we got worms. Did I? I did. I have to
Hey
back
man, you
her
gotta
up.
go to the hospital.
Like
when you get that.
tapeworms? Or
So-
pinworms?
This is the crazy part. Is I didn't know this. Ryan calls me up the night before and he says, "Dude, can you get worms?" And I'm like, "Where am I going to go to get worms
Gas station.
at this time of night?" You know, any gas station? You got one in particular?
I don't
Dickie?
want to plug the brand.
I will
Go ahead and
I'm
plug
plugging
it,
it.
bud.
Rudders has
Because I'm
live
sh-
bait.
Because I'm shaming the other brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm plugging. it.
Rudders always has them.
My
Mike's
rudder-
Bait, I think, is the brand.
I don't have a clue. My rudders on the way to anywhere I go fishing, basically, is they got a gigantic bait cooler.
Huge cooler.
Yep.
And I
Nice
didn't-
little fridge.
I didn't know that.
Is it a huge cooler or is it a little fridge?
Well, I'm sorry.
It's a nice, huge cooler. Fridge.
Exactly. Sometimes they even have like grass
It's a
shrimp.
refrigerated
They have
cooler.
all kinds of stuff.
Shrimp. I've seen minnows. The right
you
kind.
have not.
I have.
Really?
It's like
Yes,
a
sir.
Dixie cup.
live
of 'em.
minnows or salted minnows?
Live. It's in a little blue.
Yeah, just like, you ever see minnows in the vending machine? It's the same cup.
No.
Anyway,
It's a styrofoam cup with like a blue plastic lid.
I couldn't believe it. So I got myself I got myself a little 18 pack. I got a Hunter an 18 pack.
Yep.
My ship came in.
He got worms, and he got worms.
You got
worms for you.
worms, and you got worms. And so I broke away, and I just started nailing the sunfish.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like just to,
It's
I haven't
fun
done
to
it in
do
a
that.
long time.
It's fun.
Here's
to-
the thing. It wasn't just the sunfish though that were hammering those.
Perch?
The perch.
Patch.
The picture I took of Hunter. It looks like.
That's such,
I mean, just a beautiful like the back fin on this
Yeah.
perch was up.
Oh, the
and
stickleback.
the stickleback perch.
Stickleback perch.
It was like the picture perfect perch,
Nice.
but only about 4 inches long.
Right.
But it was amazing. Look,
Yeah.
The coloration was great.
They're
The fin was
beautiful.
up on this thing. It was very cool, and he was catching a lot of fish.
Yeah,
a
hammering
lot
them.
of fish. I was focusing on bass. You know, when we were there last time, we saw a lot of monsters.
Yes, we did.
Nothing.
I
seemed
have
to
it
be
on good
biting.
authority that there's monsters. in
I've
there.
tried. I tried a bunch of stuff that day. Maybe it was just an off day. That is a tough lake to fish. It's
Try
super
tubes.
clear water. I tried tubes.
Ned
I
rig?
tried
Ned
every
rigs.
version of the Ned rig with
App out of paddle.
You
TRD,
gotta be kidding me
I
that
need-
that didn't
Holistic.
work.
Kitech.
I need to say about the monster. The monster that
The
I
monster.
saw.
Oh yeah, you did see a
It's
monster.
like a it's a cousin of a Loch Ness.
Yes,
But so I had a bobber out,
Pine Grove Nessie.
Pine Grove Nessie. I had a bobber out, and then I was jigging a tiny Kitech, and I got bit off. Like I got at the nub, like basically right at the shank.
Wait,
where I had a Kitech. And it might have been a perch. It could have been a pickerel. I have no clue.
Something hungry.
It halved that Kitech.
Right.
All right, and that's
something hungry with attitude.
with
It's
tooth,
yeah.
toothy.
Did you feel the pole?
It was just a hair too deep for me to see it clearly, and it was but it was just.
Was it a pull? Did it pull, or was it like a clean?
It smacked it and was gone.
So maybe it like pulled it off, or did it bite it off?
It was a bite because
Yeah,
it was a clean bite.
Must be, yeah.
Or something toothy.
So anyway, so I'm
Not a
like,
perch.
I'm all jazzed up from
Gamblers.
that, and I grab another Kitech, the same size, same color, and I jam her down and I send it down, and jig around a little bit, and out from this log comes like
Godzilla.
His cousin, which is happens to be a snapper,
A kaiju.
like a gigantic alligator gar
20 stories tall.
wide turtle.
That's a big
snapper.
turtle.
Turtle dove. Did you say turtle dove?
Yeah. Because I was rolling with it.
Anyway, I don't know how big it was. It was massive, and
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, that's cool. Like it's in, you can see him playing his
yeah.
day.
Oh, look at that turtle.
Yeah, and like so,
Where's my line?
he comes after my Kitech, and I just kind of go around his head just to play with him, and he turns
Watch this dumb
on
turtle.
a dime.
Ooh.
Like he was way too agile, and as I'm like, no, this isn't happening. I'm on my kayak.
Your open top kayak.
Yeah, I as I start to pull the thing out, the Kitech out of the water, he follows it up, and I have a motor on my kayak, and I just slam her down.
And the turtle comes up. Hey, where are you going?
I just wanted to say hi.
It was aggressive
you
looking.
doing?
It was so big, and I don't know. I was trying to get you guys to see it.
Well, that
But
was the thing. Hunter and I came over then on the boat, and you were telling us about this, and you're like, "You got to go see this turtle."
It blew my mind.
I mean, he was hung up about it, and just how agile it was. Like, and the way you're describing it, it's pretty cool.
I wonder if that's what bit your Kitech in half.
I don't think so.
You
I
don't
don't
think
think that was the case.
It's
But
the only thing that makes sense.
it came out from underneath this large, the whole bottom back in the corner there is full of these gigantic trees and down trees and big
It's a
stumps.
nice area.
It's a lot of structure,
Yeah.
but it came out of nowhere. Literally, I mean, you can see down to the bottom, and it just I saw him swim out.
Do you know what I noticed this trip that
What's
I
that,
don't
bud?
think I noticed the last time we were out? In that same area with all of the trees that were down and the stumps that are growing up, we did get into some grass. I didn't realize how thick and tall that grass was, because we were in an area now and maybe 10, 12 foot deep, and I could see that there was some grass on the bottom. When I dropped the anchor, I actually watched the anchor go down. There was no wind on Saturday or Sunday when we were out. So you could actually see really well.
Yeah.
And I watched the anchor go down, and it disappeared into the grass
Kept going.
before I felt it hit bottom. Like, that grass
Oh, no kidding.
is tall. So what I thought was 8 or 12 foot deep was probably more like 15. And that grass, like, there could be monsters.
Who knows
just
what-
hiding down in there.
Oh boy.
Monster
We got to
turtles
get back
and
there
dinosaurs.
again.
Mike's.
Perch and Zonda.
I'm telling you, it's a good lake.
Top Dawns.
How about you, Dave?
Wow, that hurt you to
Whoa.
say it. I saw that in your
That
face.
doesn't-
We were down in Delaware as a family for the weekend.
All right, where
Yep,
can they
so-
find this?
That was pretty much it.
What'd you do?
We were able to get out to the beach Sunday and Monday. And at the beach we went to, it's a bay beach, but we were able to like surf fish right where you swim. So like, it's no rules of after 9 o'clock, no more fishing type thing.
Right.
Talk about clickbait. Deke spent most of the weekend with his shirt off.
Anti-clickbait.
And there was some slow-mo video.
Yeah, right.
I remember seeing.
So
whipping his rod.
Hey.
But Sunday we got to the beach and like Dana and Lemon fell asleep. She's a year old, so she naps.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah, but like Dana didn't.
That's normal, bud.
So like we get to the beach. Dana stayed in the car with Lemon.
Yeah.
So I went out and I set up, started fishing.
What a deal that was.
It was rough. And like my parents are there and my sister, we're all out on the beach, and like Lemon and Dana are still in the truck. And all of a sudden, like we get set up. I have both fishing rods out. We have an easy up. And all of a sudden, the skies open up and just pour.
You didn't see it coming?
It came out of nowhere.
Did it? It wasn't even
It's
breathing
like a
hard.
snapping turtle.
And it just poured. And I'm like, well, I'm already wet from because I waited out a little bit to cast. And I'm like, I'm just gonna sit in the rain. And like it poured for like a half an hour. I mean, like everybody else was under the easy up, and but Sunday I caught a dogfish.
That was a big
Was that a
dogfish,
90-minute or a
That was a 160.
120?
120, yeah.
Oh, those will hurt
man.
you.
Yeah.
So when did you take your shirt off like a fighter pilot in the 80s?
When I was playing volleyball.
Talk to me, Goose.
Did you take the highway to the danger zone?
Oh, of course. And then we went back to the same beach on Monday.
Feel the need. The need for dogfish.
Well, actually, Sunday and Monday, like I was fishing the mullet rigs, so I'm using finger mullet.
Yeah.
And the mullet were getting cut in half.
Sweet.
And so I'm like, what's going on?
Blues were running.
Yes. And
I made that up.
I'm
glad it worked.
They're jerks.
Glad I was right.
I finally landed one on Monday.
Did you?
Yeah.
And I
so-
guess that's why they
Yeah,
call
I started-
it the blues.
Oh, did somebody fire up the Lion King?
But yeah.
And you
I figured out like a different way to rig the bait fish on the mullet rig.
How big was the blue you caught?
It was only like the bait was almost as big as it. It was a small one. It was
That's
like
crazy.
10 inches long.
They don't. It doesn't matter how big they are. They're
They're ferocious.
Tear bait up. Yeah.
But so it's a little bit of that was my first
I'd like to
time
catch a blue someday.
surf fishing this season. So
It's not the size of the dog
yeah,
in the
like
fight.
if I've been in Delaware fishing, it's been from the pier.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Or swampy bottom or whatever.
Yeah.
Marshy Hope.
Well, that was yeah. So it's been like bank fishing so this is the first time from
the
surf
beach.
casting. So
Cool.
yeah, but it was a nice little weekend. Got sunburned,
Are you,
Cool, man.
Yeah.
all right.
Phil, anything for you? We got to wrap this up. I hate to cut you
Buck,
off.
let's get to it here.
It's good that you give me short time because I had short time in the outdoors this week. But the big news is I have bucks.
You got $5?
I have $5.
I need some.
and they're all hanging
Can I
out
borrow
together.
that?
They're all hanging
There's
out together.
There's $5 on your property.
He's got a bachelor group.
I got
Bucky
a bachelor group. I
is
have
Bucky.
Yeah,
Amen.
He's all buck.
You've had bucks back there before. Have you ever had that big of a group?
guys. I haven't even seen I've seen the one 8-point buck that was in velvet that I showed you the picture of.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the only buck that I've ever seen back there
That's
this
not
summer.
true.
Well, he brought some
Yes,
friends.
That's the only one that I've literally
This summer.
visualized this summer.
This year.
This year.
Okay.
This year. But then
He brought
I put
some
that
friends.
camera out and wow.
Did you do anything different this year, land management wise,
Waited till later
to
to start anything.
really?
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think
It's more time management than land management.
Bingo.
we didn't harvest anything off of that. A shot wasn't even taken last year that I know of in that area.
So they don't even know they're being hunted.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I think they feel very safe back in there right now.
Well, let's fix that, Bucky.
And they're out during the day, guys. It's from 6 a.m. until 8.
You know what you
p.m.
need to do is during the day now start running a circular saw.
Oh, like
for
the-
like 10
at the
minutes
neighbor's
a day.
house, yeah.
Then that way on opening day when your neighbors
They'll be
start
used to it then.
building the deck, they'll think this is just an average ordinary day.
I'm ready, guys. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hang
Yeah.
some of your dirty socks off the side of the circular saw.
Oh, I've been
fire it
peeing in
up.
the backyard more. I've been doing everything that they tell
Drinking
you not
gallons
to do.
of apple juice.
Exactly. Mock scrapes everywhere. No, but
His whole yard's like scratched up.
scratched
There's
up.
licking post.
Like every tree.
I
I
mean, sorry,
put-
licking branch.
No.
He has a whole
Licking
post.
post.
Yeah, he has a licking post too, but
It's just hangs
To the licking post.
hangs Moses family jerky off of it.
Yep. And they're all up on it. No, guys, but I'm.
This
in all
is good. I've
seriousness-
got a good feeling about. Oh,
Why would you say?
sorry, bud.
oh wow, you just got cursed.
I'm nervous for you about this year, bud.
As long as you're not excited, bud,
I'm really nervous.
I keep it that way.
Awesome.
I like it.
I don't
Thank
know
you,
how
guys.
things are going.
Well, good luck, Buck. When you're not out digging a scrape in your backyard or
Finding a way to put a plug in your boat.
or lending out your boat to two misers, how can they find us?
They can find us at RuttenRiverPursuits.com. They can find Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm getting hungry, spatting out all this info.
You sound hungry, bud.
Oh man, where would I go to?
You know what you can do with that?
What can I do?
You can head over to mfjerky.com
Go to mfjerky.com.
and
And what I'm going to do?
you're going to use the promo code
Jerky Pursuits
JerkyPursuits15 to get 15% off your entire order. The whole website, y'all.
Whole website. I just-
Jerky,
Whole website
I just
beef
placed a
sticks.
big order.
of
There's
coffee,
coffee, yeah.
Hats.
jerky,
15%.
15% off.
You know what they say?
Beef
all.
sticks.
good things coming 15.
Exactly.
Hey, Buck. Thank you again for letting us use your boat. Not a lot of folks would lend their prize bass boat out.
Garage kept.
Garage kept.
It sounded like you said, thank you for letting us almost sink your boat.
Thanks. We had a great. I wish you could have been there. That's the absolute only thing that would have made it any
I
better.
don't know where he would have
is
sat,
if you
man.
would've
There's
been.
all these tackle bags
We'd
and fishing
have found a
rods.
spot. I wouldn't have.
We
filled
would
up
have
the
been
live
beyond
well.
capacity for that
No,
boat
no.
if there was a fourth person.
He just sat on the
It'd been
Diamond
great.
Charter.
It'd have been great. yeah. There we go. We'd have found a spot for you. But yeah, thank you. We had a great day.
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Don't say that.
Don't say anytime.
Yeah.
How about Saturday?
Don't you say that.
You already are going out on a Saturday.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Appreciate this.
See ya.
Ring 'em weedless.
Love y'all.
See ya.
I just had this feeling. You know, when I get super excited,
What did you had a feeling?
I just had this feeling.
Deke had a feeling,
And it struck the table.
and it smacked the table.
If there's one thing I could do right now,
I'll tell you one
it's a
thing it's
bucket
not.
list for me.
It's shad.
I had the nickname Shad Harasser.
That,
We could get to that in a minute. I kind of like that nickname. Welcome back.
I was trying to be
I looked up and said, "You got
Why is that song stuck in my
Dahlberg.
head?
Dahlberg.
Why is Welcome Back
Dahlberg.
Potter stuck in my head? So we get to James
Rocket
Creek.
Man.
what? Sorry.
That did sound like Lion King Elton John.
We get to James. Stand down, Pellet.
We got you.